Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the slander for Hiyuki has never been at such high levels, especially after her gameplay reveal. And one thing that is abundantly clear nowadays, especially based off the recent critiques that the Hoyoverse community has had towards this absolutely insane character. Let's just take a look at some of them over here.
Ow. Hoyoverse is the original artist over here, and Kuro Games is using AI to copy them. When it comes to units like Cyrene, keep in mind that Hoyoverse invented archers, they invented bows, and they invented shooting arrows out of bows. And if another character does the same, like Hiyuki, bro, it has to be AI.
Or they're going with the take of,
oh, just because you have such good animations doesn't mean that your quality is actually good. Ooh, got you there, woo-wah players. We like Genshin Impact in our dog shit animations, as well as our abundant frequent use of AI as well, where Paimon has 30 fucking fingers on one hand and 2 right legs. And the newest character that we're gonna be releasing, guys, take a look at this.
It's clear that they're very upset and they're very angry. But let me inform you about another reason. Another take that's really going to piss off the greater Hoyoverse community as well. And it's actually related to this frame, as well as a couple of other animations that are in Hiyuki's kit. What do you notice over here? Or really, what do you just notice about this character as a whole? Hiyuki. Clearly Japanese. Yes, this character is clearly Japanese, as well as the fact that they're referencing cherry blossoms as well throughout multiple attacks in her kit. Clearly inspired, or really just completely influenced by Japanese culture. And guess what Hoyoverse hasn't been able to do for the past couple of months? Yes, actually release a good update in Honkai Star Rail. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got this video by Axe over here. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, but the summary of it essentially is HSR 4.0, its update faced a 2-week delay due to unforeseen circumstances. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, here's the proof right here. They extended their dog shit 3.8 update, which is just a giant retcon patch. And then they just redid everything and made it the land of elation, the land of aha, the land of jokes. And what an appropriate thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. Remodel the Edo Star, Japan, what was supposed to be Japan in HSR, and just turn it into a fucking joke. Because that's what HSR 4.0 is. That's what HSR 4.1 is. That's just what HSR as a fucking whole is. Because one of the big things, right, that Hoyoverse wasn't able to do was put any actual Japanese culture at all into the 4.0 update because of whatever geopolitical nonsense like China and Japan had going on between them. I said one thing when it comes to geopolitics. I said that the Iran war probably actually saved Wuthering Waves, because nobody gives a fuck about what's going on in Japan anymore. China's too busy worrying about, like, the Strait of fucking Hormuz, bro. They're too busy worrying about that shit. So as far as I'm concerned, yo, HSR 4.0 should have probably just been delayed for like 3 months. And then maybe these trees would have been pink. And maybe Planarcadia wouldn't look like a literal PNG. Maybe. Because this is the result, ladies and gentlemen, of the insane rework, right, that Hoyoverse had to do, that they delayed and extended their 3.8 patch for. It was to put this shit in the game. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they extended one of the worst patches in the game's history right after a spending event to go put this fucking dog shit in the game, bro. And the worst part about it, right, is that you can clearly see that sorry, that's Britain. You can clearly see that the entirety of this region was meant to look like Tokyo or some shit like that, and these trees were obviously made to be pink. What's gonna piss off HSR players? What's gonna piss off Hoyoverse? Seeing another game that does everything better than all of its other titles. Wuwa clears Genshin. Wuwa is not even a turn-based game, but it clears HSR. And of course, Wuthering Waves buried Zenless Zone Zero months ago, and the game has just never recovered. You have a game that has literally gotten hamstrung, ruined, destroyed, is taken as a complete fucking joke because of this Japan restriction that was going on. And now you're just seeing Wuthering Waves players get to pull this next patch. Bro, the emotional devastation has to be unreal. There literally has to be, like, developers, right, over at Hoyoverse working on HSR that just, like, want to retire after seeing this. Bro, they get to literally... Hey, yo, they go again, too. It's not just the old animation, guys. Bro, it even persists afterwards, after she's done fucking casting it. But that's not the only Japanese inspiration that managed to bleed into Wuthering Waves. Guys, while this whole Planarcadia rework to turn it into the biggest piece of dog shit anyone's ever seen was going on, guess who Wuthering Waves ended up releasing into the game? Yep, they just straight up released Chisa Kuchiba. Another goddamn Japanese character. Yeah, no, they just put her into the fucking game too and gave her the traditional, like, Japanese schoolgirl outfit as well. Wow. Oh, and I forgot something else that they did, right? Some people might have forgotten. You want to know how we actually get into La Hyrule? You want to know how we actually got here? You can see over here the Black Shores, and then you got this thing called the Chrono Rift Metropolis. And what happened? Oh, we're in Japan. Yeah, no, we're in Japan as well. Yeah, no. Bro, they already put Japan into the fucking game. Yes, it's in a Sonarosphere. Sure, absolutely. But it's here, bro. How pissed do you guys think the HSR, the Hoyoverse player base, just all of this, right? How pissed do you think they are? Furious, right? Angry. Bro, you can even see it right there. Bro, isn't that shit like, my game's in English, but that shit is still Japanese, right? Bro, they have to be so mad it's unreal. Because their game literally is a gigantic pile of poo right now. Planarcadia is still going to be considered the worst, like, region or planet or whatever in HSR history, and nothing is ever going to change that. And it's likely due to the fact that they had to change everything on a fucking dime, right? While Wuthering Waves just gets to keep that shit in. Wuthering Waves just, for some reason, got to do whatever the fuck it wanted. I guess the CCP just didn't give a fuck about what was going on in this game, right? Sucks to suck, losers! And then for Hoyoverse to have to, like, see Wuwa go again, right? Do you look at how many cherry blossoms are just, like, this has to be Kuro just rubbing it in. There's cherry blossoms on the first ult. There's cherry blossoms on all of her attacks as well. Bro, you could just see them everywhere. Like, Kuro didn't even have to do this. Remember when I said they were in the other animations too? It's not just that ending ult. They're literally everywhere. They're just like, hey, HSR-kun, are you watching? Bro, they're just getting cucked live. They're literally just getting cucked live watching this. It's in every single one of her attacks in the second form. Oh, she also summons a giant fucking moon, too. Yeah, no, they didn't have to do that either. This is literally, and probably appropriately as well, this is the greatest form of gacha NTR I've ever seen. And it's ironic, right? Or really poetic, more so, that NTR is like a Japanese term. I don't know what else to say other than I've never seen a player base get fucked this hard before. Legit, I've, like, never seen a player base just get spat on, told they're a stupid retard, like, just told that they're, like, fucking useless, pathetic. I've never seen it like this before, bro. And the best part is, it's not even like they did like a Japanese-inspired kit, right? I don't know very many like Japanese like things where they had like a character with giant scissors, right, going around and like chopping shit up. I'm talking about like historical media, right? Like I know there's like Gachi Yukata and shit like that, but that's like relatively newer, right? I don't really know, like, or maybe all right, I don't know enough of that shit. Maybe they do use giant scissors in some of the animes. It's not a traditional like Japanese piece of weaponry, right? It's relatively modern for this type of stuff to be associated with Japan. Look at what this Hiyuki character is using for her attacks, bro. First and foremost, right? She is dual-wielding katanas. She's dual-wielding katanas. That's like the most Japan you could get out of Japan as a fucking whole. And then she even pulls out the samurai bow, too. She is sorry, I forgot the last thing. The outfit, right? Obviously, the traditional Shrine Maiden Miko outfit as well. And they're very known for using the bows. Yes, that is something that's very traditional. So, first, she's dual-wielding, right? Like, the big katana, then the smaller one. And then guess what her first ultimate is? Bro, she pulls out the big sword. Bro, she pulls... I don't even think this is a katana anymore. Look at the length of this motherfucker. This is like an odachi, bro. Bro, she pulls out the fucking odachi as well. Bro, and then she uses, I think, the sheath for it, too. So she's just straight up using, like, 4, 5 different Japanese weapons in her kit. It's not like we're just going ahead, right, using some shit like giant scissors, which can be loosely associated with Japan. Every single part of her goddamn kit is associated with Japan. I don't know what's not Japanese about her. And of course, cherry blossoms on every attack, and I bet this fucking tree is from Japan too. Yeah, I'm not even joking. I bet this tree is Japanese as well. It's a bonsai tree. Yep, the tree is Japanese too. I've never seen a player base just get spat on like this before. Bro, this has to be the most insulting shit HSR players have ever experienced. Obviously, they don't deserve it because they're all stupid as fuck. But I kind of feel bad for them at this point. They're literally just in the cuck chair, right? They're literally just in the cuck chair over here, looking at the most dog shit kits in gacha history, watching a Silver Wolf just gets a reskin, and they're like, oh my god, oh, she's level 999, just like my cortisol levels. Oh, ho, ho. Right? And then they're gonna see Alicia version 3, and then Yai Miko again for the 17th fucking time. Just in the cuck chair, bro. They're stuck. And they're chained down by, I guess, the fucking CCP or some shit at this point. Wild. And this is just a prime example of the level of frustration that HSR players experience being in the cuck chair, watching Wuthering Waves do whatever the fuck it wants to their games, right? Genuine question about the China-Japan conflict. Can anyone explain to me why the conflict between China and Japan looks like it only affects Honkai Star Rail and not other games? How else can you describe this other than being in the cuck chair? And so it's very clear they're looking for any reason to lash out. And so it kind of makes sense, right? Why you're seeing so many posts like this. Why you're seeing those goofy-ass AI comparisons, right? Or it's like trying to imply that Kuro's using AI somewhere. And then, of course, because Alicia is, Cyrene is the source of everything Darway has ever made. And Darway made everything, right? Now they're saying they're plagiarism too. Guys, they're desperate. They're angry. They're mad. And the last piece, they're pathetic. Because how else can you describe a player base that's trying to, for some reason, bring down other games because they get to do what they didn't have? This is called jealousy. This is called envy. And that's what happens when Wuthering Waves cucks HSR. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.